Good evening, sports fans. I'm Howard Tarico, and welcome to the first and only ever live, pre-recorded draft lottery for the League of Public Rosterbation. We're here with a jam-packed crowd, as you can see. They are hanging from the rafters here, folks. We have a night full of excitement. As you all know, the fantasy football season is approaching. Hopefully the season will kick off in time, but still, you need to be prepared. Therefore, for the first time, the League of Public Rosterbation is allowing all members to know which pick they will have way in advance, and not on draft day itself. Therefore, earlier today, our special guest, who you will meet in a moment, utilized the classic ping pong ball method, each team with one ping pong ball put inside of the Socomatic 7000 to determine which selection they will get in the draft. Please meet that special guest right now. Give it up for the Invisible Girl. What's that? I'm sorry, I'm getting some news here. Oh my. That is troubling indeed. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is my troubling duty to inform you that the Invisible Girl has passed away today, due to an unfortunate Socomatic accident. Apparently, the machine was not wired correctly, and the Invisible Girl used her sucking powers to extract the ping pong balls, and the last ball was lodged in her throat. God bless that ball sucker. I will remember you. Moving right along, let's get right into the action. The envelope, please, for the 12th pick in the draft. Well, where were you on that one? Your job is to be the envelope girl. If you don't give me the envelope, then why do you have a job? The 12th pick in the 2020 LOPR Fantasy Football Draft goes to Kyle. This is unfortunate news indeed for Kyle, who was the last place finisher in 2019, winning the unenviable Andre Nosdick Award for the very first time, finishing with a 2-11 record and losing 5 straight in the regular season. He now has the last pick in the upcoming draft. Let's go live to Kyle's house for his instant reaction. There, Kyle. Drink up, old friend. Moving right along, let's get to pick number 11. You know what, envelope girl? You're fired. The 11th selection in the 2020 LOPR Fantasy Draft goes to the defending champion, Seamus Moan. Crowd was not pleased with that. They do not like Seamus's team. However, he is the defending champion, winning his first Rafi Bowl, finishing with a 9-4 record, winning 3 straight as he went into the playoffs. He has won also 2 out of 3 of the last division titles. Let's not talk about Seamus any longer. Nobody wants to. Pick number 10. The 10th selection in the 2020 LOPR draft goes to Josh, the 3rd straight member of the Dirty Randy division, all at the bottom of the 2020 NFL Draft.
What?
Josh is trying to break through and has not been able to do it year in and year out, finishing 2019 with a 5-8 record and just barely avoiding the Nosedick, finishing 11th. Let's go straight to Josh's house for his immediate reaction.
Well, shit. I guess I'll just keep drinking then. Fuck.
Looks like Josh has taken the same method as Kyle, drowning his sorrows with booze. It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. Moving to our next pick, number 9. The 9th selection in the 2020 LOPR Fantasy Draft goes to Ryan, the only two-time Roffy Bowl champion in the LOPR, coming off another dominant year, finishing 9-4 in 2019 and his third straight division title. Enough about that loser. Let's go to pick number 8. The 8th selection in the 2020 LOPR Fantasy Draft goes to Blake, a one-time Roffy Bowl champion. Blake has somehow avoided the nose dick every year he has played, miraculously winning that championship. However, last year he finished 6-7, limping into the postseason with a 4-game losing streak. Moving on to pick number 7. The 7th pick in the 2020 LOPR draft goes to Dave, another former Roffy Bowl champion. Dave has had a rough streak over the last few years, finishing 10th place last year with a 5-8 record. I understand we have Dave live via satellite. Is that correct? No, apparently we're having some technical difficulties. However, we were able to get some still shots, I guess, of Dave's reaction getting the 7th pick in the draft. Let's take a look. Apparently, Dave took the same strategy as Josh and Kyle beforehand, which upset his stomach, leading him to throw up. Anyhow, pick number 6. The 6th pick in the 2020 LOPR Fantasy Draft goes to Eric. Eric is coming off arguably the most dominant 3-year span in LOPR history, winning a championship and then following up with a season scoring the most points in league history. But then again, he fell in the Roffy Bowl last year to Seamus, making that his second Roffy Bowl loss in his career. Let's go to Eric to see how he feels about that.
Son of a bitch.
Riveting. Just riveting. Moving on to pick number 5. The heat is really turning up. The 5th pick in the 2020 LOPR Fantasy Draft goes to Molly, the only two-time nose dick in the LOPR. Molly is also looking to turn it around, having a better season in 2019 than she did in 2018, finishing with a 6-7 record. However, that's not going to be good enough to get into the playoffs in this league. How does Molly feel about that comment? Interesting take. While we have you, Molly, I would like to ask, how do you feel about having 2 other members of your division still not yet with their pick announced? Ingenious. Let's move on to the next pick. Number 4. The pressure is really turning up here. The 4th selection goes to Doug, another former Roffy Bowl champion. However, Doug has had a bad streak in recent years, finishing 6-7 last year with a 7th place record. 7th place record. 7th place finish. What? What am I?
What?
Moving on to pick number 3. Only 2 remain. With the 3rd pick in the 2020 LOPR draft, it goes to Al. Al is in his sophomore season in the LOPR, surprising everyone last year by winning the wild card with a 9-4 record. However, he finished 4th in the playoffs. That means that with only one name remaining, the number 2 pick in the 2020 LOPR draft will go to, that's right, it will go to Chris. Chris has made the Roffy Bowl one time. However, he was not successful, last year finishing with a 6-7 record winning the consolation bracket and finalizing his season in 5th place. Now, I understand we have some immediate reaction from Chris finding out he had the 2nd overall pick. Yes, that's correct. Let's go to that right now. Truly, he is a happy man. However, Chris, you are aware that you did not get the number 1 pick. You only got the number 2 pick, right? That's more like it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up the draft lottery, the man with that number 1 pick won that last year by beating out everyone in the Andre Knows Dick bracket. We tried to get a word with him earlier today, however, he was indisposed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap things up for the 2020 LOPR first and only ever live pre-recorded fantasy draft lottery special. We will see you at the beginning of the year, hopefully in September, as the fans continue going crazy here. That's gonna wrap things up for me. I have some cigars to smoke and some hussies to spank. For everyone else here at FSPN, I'm Howard Tarico. Good night.